Hey, what's up, guys? So I have a phone for you guys today. I have the HTC One X. I actually won this in a raffle. So if you're looking to get phones for cheap, what's up, guys? You can see my face right now. So if you're looking to get phones for cheap, I'll look for phones that have bidding. Because a lot of the times, because of the pretty much, so this phone had this case on it, which is why it's kind of blue. I didn't really get a chance to clean it off, but nonetheless, I don't really know all the specs about this phone. I never had this phone. My cousin had this phone. I thought it was really cool. So we had, for me, it was like, so I have a bunch of phones right now, right? I'm trying to get all these, like, HTC phones right in order. I'm trying to, because these are, honestly, bro, these go for like 20 bucks. And growing up, I wanted this, then this. Then, and so you can see how phones just will progress through time, right? You know what I mean? Obviously, I don't have all of them, but then, we got the red Magic phone right here. Yeah, I'm using my iPhone 14 Pro Max. It's going to be another video. You know what I'm saying? So phones progress through time, and that's why we have this wonderful device for us. This was almost the in-between, for me at least, between the HTC Sensation. Here, I can do this. So actually there was no case for that, never mind. So this is maybe a testament to the longevity of Android phones. So as you've noticed in my past few videos, any phone that's pretty much over 10 years old is running CyanogenMod. And why is that? It's because it's a very clean version of Android that is user updated. So of course, CyanogenMod is like an overall thing, and I believe they're now called Oxygen OS. But the reality is, like, they do offer this software, and they still update it for pretty much every single phone. They have people specifically on updates for these phones. So you can have literally software support and also a really light ROM, which allows you to basically use your phone and everything running perfectly. This is Android 4.4.4. I still think this is Ice Cream Sandwich. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might be something completely different. 4.4. I don't remember the actual name. Maybe we can go to settings and I can see real quick. I think it's just going to show the CyanogenMod version, but let's see here. They do that. Oh, KitKat. Oh, that's, yeah, see, that was pretty cool, right? So you had literally Android KitKat, which was really sick. It looks really good with the red on the white back. This phone did still have it wasn't like a plastic, it was almost like a ceramic back. This was pretty much their move right before that phone back there that we're gonna get another review. But I wanted to just kind of go and try to connect this thing to Wi-Fi to see if we can get some kind of, dude, this camera shift is so strange. Maybe you can, seem to fix it a little bit. So we can go right here, just into settings, and we can go to Wi-Fi. And now we can connect to this house Wi-Fi, wherever it is showing it. All right, so yeah, sorry about the mess, my friends, but I'm just trying to do all these at once. I'm giving this phone to my brother. I've said it about 100 times, but I'm just trying to get this nice 4K camera quality in before he gets here later tonight. So this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get all these quick reviews done. But yeah, I'll still have these phones, and I will have a 13 Pro Max to record with, so no worries, I'll still have something to record and maybe go into depth if you guys want this. So just kind of going off request. I might improvise and do something on my own too, but type in the password. So that was a pretty nice haptic feedback. It does kind of, I don't know if echo is the right word, but yeah, essentially what it does is there we go. So we have some internet, and now I don't know what, I didn't even install this phone or anything, so I don't know what we're gonna get. But as you can see, there's software support. You can do DSP manager, like I was saying, you can adjust the sound. Now let's see here. The sound does have a really nice front firing speaker right here. There is I think this has 8 megapixels, maybe not 5 megapixels, probably 5 megapixels. With the LED flash, SIM card slot, kind of cool in the back. There's another firing speaker. Yeah, another fire. Actually, this is, I wonder what that is. Is that like a magnet thing? I don't, honestly, I wish I could tell you, but if anyone can tell me, it'd be cool. But I got a Beats Audio Edition. They're doing, pretty much HTC was a big partner with Beats before Apple bought them off. So there was a lot of Android phones with Beats, and honestly, it kind of, obviously they were going bankrupt, but I also think they kind of bought them off so they could stop having Android exclusives, because I think they knew that was a big challenge for them in terms of marketing. And so, yeah, but basically, in the previous version of Android, whoa, that's nice. Okay, I hit the right spot apparently. Previous version of Android, you turn off the ability for Google Apps to actually location. Not now. I don't put on location unless I'm doing maps just because it does change your battery. So, oh, that's cool. So we have terminal. We can go to the terminal. We have YouTube. I'll just show you guys some YouTube real quick. Interesting. I guess it's bloatware. Here, let's go to just the browser. Let's see if we can load a video from there. I don't want to. Okay, I'm gonna search off screen. I don't know what this dude has. Probably, yeah, he's not an idiot. He definitely cleared his history. That's good. Also, these are usually phones. They're just kind of sitting around anyway. What I'm gonna try to start doing is I ordered a precision toolkit for precision screwdriver kit, so you know you can get into cell phones. So I'm gonna start doing phone repairs and reselling them. I personally think it's good because my buddy and I are gonna plan on actually developing an Android phone in the near future. I'm switching over to mobile development to just pretty much enhance my coding skills when it comes to phones. To be able to maybe participate in actually developing a ROM of our own that we can put in the hardware. So if not, obviously we'll just rely on something like this, literally CyanogenMod. We can just do that, but or the newer version Oxygen OS. But we'll see kind of how that goes. I don't want to make any false promises, but I am glad that I can get in the phone, kind of see how they work, the internals, take them apart, rebuild them, all that. So what I appreciate about this phone is this also has that white front that I really like. You know, obviously it has the black sort of like screen because it's not, at this time that we weren't really focused on edge-to-edge displays. This is the first also 4.7-inch screen. Actually, I lied, I think. I don't know, I don't remember exactly when this was released. I just know it was between the HTC Sensation and the HTC One. So this is almost like the weird, awkward stepchild where they kind of deviated from, they went to like a nicer plastic, right? So they had like the regular plastic, another one, they went to ceramic, which is definitely a different material. Is this a text from somebody? Okay. Yo, somebody's Facebook, bro. That's what? That's what, bro. That's not my business. Man, that's crazy. I'm gonna install this. Yo, this keeps happening, bro. I gotta clean these phones up, man. I gotta get this Facebook shit off and somebody else's. Man, this is not my business. But you know, basic uninstaller. I just love how these phones are running stock Android. You can get the reality is with stock Android and really clean ROMs like this, you can get so much power out of your phone. That's why Apple phones succeed. That's why Google Pixels succeed, even on low hardware. It's because and Google Pixels are putting out definitely better hardware, at least in my opinion. In terms of the spec sheet, you know, real world performance, the iPhone really does a good job of performing. To be honest, it's pretty impressive, like I was saying in other videos. But you can get longevity, and I think that's what I really want to make this video about is device longevity. Like this phone pretty much could be seen as e-waste, and HTC is not even a company anymore. So getting updates for this thing is pretty much non-existent unless you go to XDA developers and you download a ROM for it. CyanogenMod, literally the best ROM. I'm not really going through this just because everybody pretty much knows what stock Android is about if you tried an Android phone. And maybe you've tried a shitty Android phone that doesn't really have any good specs. And because of that, that is your entire basis for an Android phone. And I mean, for that, I just say, you know, give Android another chance, but spend money on it. Put good money into Android. You know, Android's what you put in is what you get out. It's very different than Apple because you pretty much have to just put in everything. No, I'm kidding. They're doing better with budget devices and kind of reaching markets that weren't really necessarily iPhone friendly before based on, you know, just the cost of everything. But like, think about it. So like, let's say like this phone cost me 50, 60 bucks, but currency conversion internationally, like within a country, you're going to get reasonable purchases for like produce and like all food and things like that, right? Like let's take India, for instance. Like India has a lot of great food in their country. It's probably not expensive in their country to buy food and get a house and things like that in their own country. But when you take their currency nationally, it doesn't have the same weight as the US dollar. And so it's way more expensive for them to, one, get the phones, but two, ship them over. Like it's a lot of fucking money. And I don't think a lot of people are spending money on that. So what they see is when they look and I don't think everybody does this. I'm not trying to stereotype anybody. So if you don't do this and you can make a lot of money, I'm sure there are a lot of really wealthy, well-off people there. I don't mean to disrespect anybody. I just picked India, for example. It could be any country. It could be literally random parts of another country, right? But just India pop comes to mind, right? Like, you know what I mean? So their currency doesn't hold as much weight internationally as ours. So when they're getting phones shipped over, one, the shipping is expensive. And so they're going to go for a phone like this, I would assume. Maybe, maybe not. But the reality is, this is a phone that really works well. It gets the job done. It's nice and it still functions. And this is feels like maybe a 2013 phone, 2014 phone. I'm thinking maybe 2012. But regardless of whatever kind of price range this is, the HTC One X was a very, very solid phone. It was a nice middle point, and when you have software that can still be supported and still run, you get longevity out of your hardware. When you don't have a overbearing OS, it's not going to wear down on your parts as much, and you can get longevity out of parts way longer. So that's the thing with this phone. It's like you're seeing longevity here. This is really what this represents. And, okay, so for instance, I kind of think it's interesting how they took a kind of curved unibody display. It's kind of curved, right? But then the phone screen kind of sits in it. Like it's a little it's kind of being cradled, for instance. That's kind of cool. It does have that front-facing camera. I'm going to go into the camera and maybe just, once again, I don't want to stumble across anybody's photos like I did before in another video. This is not my favorite thing. Unfortunately, camera has stopped. Okay, maybe the camera doesn't seem to be configured for the phone, which is very, very odd. It probably just takes some coding, which I don't even know if it's worth putting the time in, but maybe. Once I take this phone apart, put it back together, get into software, to start fixing the software. I kind of want to go through that process first. That's just personally something I really want to do. Like I said, I have all those devices, but I really want to use them for just a few videos, and I want to really be able to like work on them, break them down. Oh, that noise scared the crap out of me, guys. You break them down and just use them, and that's pretty much it, guys. This thing really runs just stock Android. It runs it well. There are some kinks like you have to work around, so like the camera issue, I guess, just now, things like that. But I got this phone for like $30, dude. And back in the day, it would have been $300 or $400. Now that doesn't seem like a lot now, but back in the day, back in early 2010s, that was a flagship price. Phones take a huge hike, and I think it was just because Apple hiked the phones up. So when Apple, they noticed Apple usually, at least in some categories like price, they'll make a move and people will follow. Like for instance, like they remove the battery chargers, and then everyone still is going to buy an Apple phone. So then Samsung follows suit, and then Google follows suit, right? So you have like these big companies that can afford to just take something out and they won't really take much of a hit. And so what does that do? Well, it just pretty much, they're following trends and not so good trends. A not so good trend is to raise the price of phones. Yes, the processors are getting faster, but I doubt that like a stainless steel phone, as great as it is, like the iPhone, for instance, it's not even made really by Apple. They kind of design it. They design like the frame of the phone, but the cameras are Sony. The screen is Samsung. The processor is TCSS, or I always mix it up. But that processor company is the same one that does the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's weird how Apple creates this ecosystem of just like saying that like there's dependability in the devices. And like, yes, that's true, like for sure. But I'm not gonna, like for instance, I do trust an old iPhone versus just a sketchy old Android phone. Like this was a high-end old Android phone. So if you're looking for a cheap high-end old Android phone, the HTC One X is a very powerful device, and I would say it's definitely for you. So thank you so much for watching. I apologize for some reason the camera just dropping quality for no fucking reason. But regardless, appreciate you guys watching. This is a HTC One X review with CyanogenMon on it. Have a nice day, guys.